How's it going, everyone? Well, we're going to do an analysis of this new hero, who is one of the 2 new ones that just came out in this latest update. This hero is a captain for burn ships. Let's see if he is strong for what it takes in sea battles and for what the battle on land is. That is, first we are going to look at all the abilities at sea to see how strong he is or not. Well, in the first ability, it says that it executes 2 random attacks on the ships of the target fleet. Each attack hits 3 random targets, so that makes a total of 6. Each one hits 3. It deals burn damage equal to 50% of his attack. And as the number of impacted targets increases, the damage is reduced. Additionally, he applies 1 to 2 burn stacks to the targets with each attack. And here we can see how much it scales. Still, beyond the fact that I have already seen the other new hero, who is focused on burn damage, the most striking thing you will see is the number of stacks that can be accumulated, because everything gives burn stacks. Well, over here it seems quite normal. There's nothing broken yet. The second ability, when Raven applies burn to a target, has a 60% chance to apply an additional stack. So here you have more stacks. This effect will activate once per second, meaning that every second you have this percentage that obviously when you increase it to 100%, you are constantly applying burn stacks or on fire. Third ability increases burn damage by 4%, and this scaled damage slightly reaches 20%. And at the beginning of the battle, he applies 2 burn stacks to 2 random enemy ships, in other words, new stacks. Ability 4. Each time the ship led by Raven inflicts burn damage, its attack increases by 0.4% and its armor by 0.4%. It can be scaled up to 7 times and can reach up to 2%. Therefore, if you have it maxed out, it can reach up to 14%. And the last ability, when the ship led by Raven inflicts damage to a burning ship, obviously I mean that it will always deal damage to a burning ship. With abilities or basic attacks, he spreads the burn effect by applying a burn stack to 2 ships in the target fleet, meaning he is constantly applying burn stacks all the time. This effect can be activated once every 8 seconds. The problem with burn stacks is that they deal damage over time, and when you have 10 stacks, they deal more and more and more damage. And to better scale with the rest of the burn heroes, he is quite strong, of course. He is not broken, but he is very strong. And then when the analysis of the other hero is done, you will realize that this one becomes much stronger when paired with the other, because this one acts as a support in terms of accumulation of. As a result of this significant flame or burn damage, and well, now let us proceed to discuss his combat on the ground. And we have as the first ability to inflict direct damage equal to 60% of his attack to all enemies and apply flames to the damaged targets. This causes them to suffer 30% damage per turn for 3 turns. And well, this can reach up to 150%, which is quite a good ability. As a second ability, it increases impact by 2% and attack by 2% in combat, reaching up to 10%. The third ability, when using a skill, has a 60% chance to stun a random enemy, what prevents him from taking actions during a turn. This probability reaches 100%, so you will be constantly stunning an enemy. Fourth ability, basic attacks deal an additional 10% damage to enemies that are on fire, and it can go up to 50%, meaning it will deal good damage. And finally, as the last ability, when receiving damage, it increases the damage that the attacker receives by 12% for 2 turns, as if it leaves a weakness effect on them when they attack. That receives up to an extra 12% damage. This can increase to 20%. Well, how is this hero obtained? With the new pay-to-win currency they introduced, which is essentially the knife throwing, as you can clearly see here. And well, this is actually one of the 2 new heroes that were released. I repeat, he is quite strong. He is stronger than usual, than what we are used to. He is not broken when viewed alone. But anyway, in the next video, when I do a review of the next hero who is indeed broken, there you will realize the support that this hero indeed actually provides to the other with the bonus it truly gives you of of these burn stacks constantly and consistently because all the various abilities apply stacks for everyone in the group and cause significant weakness. I repeat, it's more like support. Beyond dealing a lot of damage, he will be the support for the other. Obviously, I mentioned the ship because the other new hero is a gunner, if I remember correctly. And you would have Raven, Tanaka, and the remaining hero who is artillery. We'll see you in the next video to analyze the next hero. Bye.